What's up, guys? It is the Bad Wolf. Now, if you were watching the last video, we stumbled across something interesting. How to prove that you're a national. Let's take a look at that one. Let's get into it. So in the last video, it said the burden of proof when suing under 1503 might be that you must prove you are a U.S. national. Okay, so let's take a looky. I got hooky on the burden of proof.
Burden of proof in Section 1503, proving U.S. nationality.
Here's another banger, another one. DJ, bad mother wolf. Let's get it.
Nationality. Under 8 U.S.C. Section 1503, the burden of proof lies with the person seeking to assert a right or privilege as a U.S. national. This applies in two main contexts. 1. Proceedings for declaration of U.S. nationality if someone within the United States is denied a right or privilege on the ground that they are not a U.S. national. They may file a civil action under 28 U.S.C. Section 2201 against the head of the relevant department or agency laws, legal research plus 1. Burden. The plaintiff must prove they are a U.S. national. Evidence. This can include documents such as a U.S. passport, naturalization certificate, or other official proof of citizenship. Limitations. You cannot sue if the nationality.
Ooh. So if other official proofs of citizenship, these other documents, what are they telling you here? They're telling you that all U.S. citizens who have citizenship are also U.S. nationals.
Nationality issue arose in a removal proceeding or is already an issue their laws, legal research. 2. Application for a certificate of identity if someone outside the United States is denied a right or privilege on the ground that they are not a U.S. national. They may apply to a U.S. diplomatic or consular officer for a certificate of identity to travel and apply for admission laws, legal research plus 1. Burden. The applicant must prove to the officer's satisfaction that they are a U.S. national and that the application is in good faith with a substantial basis. Evidence. This may include proof of citizenship, e.g., passport, birth certificate, naturalization papers.
Because when you guys get naturalized out there, and you guys ask me, well, Wolf, I got naturalized. Am I a national? It's in the word. Natural, nat, N-A-T, the root word. Nat, nation, national, a national uralization. It's in the word. You get both. It's also in the law.
Papers, and evidence of physical presence in the U.S. at some point, or being under 16 and born abroad to a U.S. citizen parent laws, legal research.
Because if you're born to at least one parent out of the country, you get both as well.
Research plus 1. Key points on burden of proof. The statute does not shift the burden to the government to prove you are a U.S. national. You must prove it yourself. Standard is proof to the satisfaction of the officer or court that you are a U.S. national. In court, this means presenting credible, admissible evidence that establishes your nationality beyond a reasonable doubt. In consular applications, the officer's determination is discretionary but must be based on your submitted evidence. Practical tip: gather all official documents showing your U.S. nationality and any relevant immigration history. If you are outside the U.S., you may also need to provide proof of prior physical presence in the U.S. or other qualifying conditions under Section 1503. B. Laws.
Okay. Now, once again, 8 USC 1401 establishes who is considered a U.S. citizen at birth without the need for naturalization. Okay. Now, what they're doing here is this AI is hiding the national aspect. So let's show how this is hiding it. Go right to the horse's mouth. Boom. See how it didn't say this right out of the gate? See how they try to obfuscate it through their AIs and things online? You see this? 8 USC 1401 nationals. So US code. So guess what that makes you? A US national and citizen, US citizen at birth. You get both. How do we know? Let's read the definition of a person born in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. Were you born here and you're subject to the jurisdiction of the United States? Yes. Well, guess what? You are, in fact, a national and a citizen at birth. These are the other ways you can be looked at as a citizen slash national. If you notice here, it doesn't mention anything about 1408 and specifically named other places. Why? Because we're going to go there right now. 8 USC 1408. This is where the government fucks it up. This is where certain cops and judges either lie or fuck it up. So, who are these nationals but not citizens of the United States? Unless otherwise provided in section 1401, where we just came from this title, the following shall be nationals but not citizens. So, who are these people that don't get citizenship but are a type of national? So, this is why, and I won't mention their names, but certain people out there use 8 USC 1101 A21, which is the wrong code for us as nationals. This means you owe allegiance to a type of state, lowercase s, within the American family. This is not us as nationals. This is a different type. A person born in an outlying possession, that which is owed by us, of the United States. On or after the date of formal acquisition of such possession. Now, here they don't name the exact, let's see, wait, nope, they don't have possession highlighted. Possession should be underlined, hyperlinked. They just said outlying possessions. Well, what's an outlying possession? Okay. Let's see where it breaks down more so in 8 FAM 301.1-1. Here we go. So under current law, only persons born in America, Samoa, and Swain, I know I usually say Guam, sorry, Guam. America, Samoa, and Swain are U.S., so this is a different type, not to be confused with non-citizen U.S. nationals. These are U.S. non-citizen nationals, and they fall under right here where I just came from. This is why it's referenced right here, 8 USC 1408. Bitches. So where Cornell Law did not have it hyperlinked either to this page or mention the outlying areas, which are America, Samoa, and Swain, those are a different type of subclass of nationals. Now, back in the old days, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, Philippines, Guam, those were also U.S. non-citizen nationals, but they got brought in through treaty, conquest, etc. Now they get it, they get both, but not this subclass of U.S. non-citizen nationals, 8 USC 1408. So it's crazy to me when these so-called, muckety mucks. No, Mr. Wolf, you're wrong. I guarantee you, between me and you, my 171 IQ, and your pencil pushing, you heard somebody say, feel some type of way, emotional ass punk bitch bastard, basement ball headed bastard, are I'm right and you're wrong. I've been doing this for 40 years. I guarantee you, you haven't been at your job 40 years. I do this with a passion. You do it for money. I do it because I love America. You do it because you love money. We're not the same. I live this way. You don't like things I say. You're emotional. I'm logical. I'm a perfectionist and you're a piece of shit. We're not the same. Or maybe you're purposely just trying to obfuscate it or hide it from the American people. God bless America. God bless the American people. This is a different type, and the only ones recognized generally, other than in section and subsection 8 USC 1408. But it says under current law, you can read only persons born in these areas are this type of national. They're not 1401. If we go up here, where I so eloquently instructed the Department of State under FAM, their own manual, that they had this part wrong and they corrected it. Oops, sorry, one up here. Nationality versus citizenship. Verse, which means they're not the same thing. While most people and countries use the term citizenship and nationality interchangeably, U.S. law differentiates, which means to make different, between the two. Under current law, all U.S. citizens are also U.S. nationals, period. That's how the government looks at it. End of discussion. But the double entendre is that not all of those U.S. nationals are U.S. citizens. Why? Because the Department of State passport division, for legal reasons, lawful reasons, legal and lawful, clump together this type of 8 USC 1408, this type of U.S. non-citizen national, to be subclass or subsection underneath us. So they're still a type of U.S. national, but they're not the U.S. national. And they put us and them as nationals all together. So not all of the U.S. nationals are U.S. citizens. How do we know that? Because right here, these ones are the ones who don't get citizenship. How do we know that? Because right up here, it shows that these guys were this subclass of national. They didn't get citizenship. Now they got citizenship. So if you get citizenship and nationality, you're one of all of this. If you don't and you're a national and you're, well, I don't mean any disrespect by this, but your little island, your little place, then you're just this. Either they didn't want it, rejected it, or the government never offered it to them. But Samoa and Swain don't get U.S. citizenship. We recognize their own America Samoa nationality and Swain nationality. We recognize their individuality there. But we're saying, whatever you guys want to call yourselves, Samoa nationals, okay, that's cute. We're going to regard you as U.S. non citizen nationals. So call yourselves what you want on your two little islands here, but you're this. You're a subclass of our own nationals under 8 USC 1101A 22 dash or 22B. Oh, you guys are still here? You want more? Okay, cool. Okay, now where can we go from here?